So, I just reached not only Grand Marshal, but the top 15 place in my server when it comes to PvP. Okay, that's just a free win. Okay, we're the 15th best player on the Linfier server now, which I had to grind a lot for. Yeah, if you want to watch that, I have like most of the stream VODs up, so you can. But I feel entitled to now bring to you a PvP tier list, because I think I know what's at least somewhat good when it comes to PvP. And the first thing I have to do... yeah. Nemesis is super broken, not only in PvE, but especially in PvP. That slow, that backdash, slow sphere you can shoot out is beyond broken. If you get hit by that, there's a good chance you're just gonna die. And if you're not, then you're probably just gonna get poked to death. But yeah, Nemesis, absolutely insane in PvP, provides you CC with the slow, which is by far the most annoying and most powerful CC in PvP, provides you heal as well, and guess what? He also increases your electro damage if you have another electro character, which we will get to later, and you have a lot of range damage, you have of course those slow spheres, I can't mention them enough, they are so goddamn annoying. So yeah, Nemesis, probably also one of the main reasons why many people don't want to play PvP, because they either don't have her or don't want to play against that stuff, because it's honestly understandable. The second character that comes even close is Coco, for the very simple reason she also heals, similar to Nemesis, but provides even more heals, and also has a different kind of CC. If you play her well, you can knock up, you can have that little stun lock combo that can cause freezes, and then you chain that with another CC, you can just throw the Nemesis slow at them, so they literally can't move. I don't think I have to say to you or explain how annoying it is to get knocked up, to get frozen, to get slowed, to get knocked up, to get frozen and then die. So yeah, Coco, literally second best character in PvP, and I think these two characters basically form the core of every single top tier PvP team. If you have both of these in your team, the third slot can pretty much be anything and you're at least gonna reach a decent rank. But you can of course make it even better. And I think the most popular choice, some people might say the best choice, but I would like to disagree, is Meryl. Meryl, not as great. That's why I'm gonna put her in A tier, for multiple reasons. One, she is really easily punished, but you have to choose the right relics. First off, a lot of people are gonna be annoyed by her ultimate, because I think if you're in lower ranks in PvP, you completely hate Meryl. You probably think Meryl's the most broken character ever, because she has that ultimate that just creates that dome of ice, knocks you up, completely destroys you, and then they continue to spin to win you to death. You literally can't do anything because you most likely will get first knocked up, then shield broken, and then you will die. But there's a couple of methods to avoid that. One, when they ult, you can just jetpack after they finish their ult animation. That's why the jetpack is probably the most broken relic in PvP. Not only is the advantage you have in the air insane, but also you will have an easier time against Meryl, because you just wait until the ulti is over, then you fly up, and you just look at them just swinging their sword. They probably already casted their skill, and you just laugh at them from above. I do have to say, for a tank, she has incredibly disgusting damage. She has also incredibly high shatter, which is very valuable in PvP. She has freezes as well. Absolutely disgusting character, but she has a lot of outplay potential. One of them also being, if you don't have the jetpack, you can actually get really good. And I know how that sounds, but that's actually true. If you jump at the correct time, when the discharge attack hits, you will not be knocked up and you can literally just jump over the wall. That's gonna take a while to master, and even I only can sometimes do it. It's really hard to get the timing right, but you can do that. Which why Meryl is actually not insanely powerful, but definitely really crazy strong, and this team, these three, are probably the team you're gonna see the most of. Like, every second person on the PvP ladder is using exactly this team. It's understandable why. Meryl is incredibly incredibly easy to use, she punishes very easily, and she has that simple burst combo of ulti, spin to win, or skill, and that will probably just kill you. But like I said, too much outplay potential. You can easily punish her with a character like, for example, Ro, who's gonna be our next character. That guess what? Nemesis, the best character, has electro resonance. Ro is an electro DPS, and he is in fact the best one you can play. Why? I don't think I have to tell you. If you look into every social media group, you will see people that either hate on Meryl or Crow. Crow, very understandable. He works so well with the jetpack, which is such an insane relic. And you see the damage numbers, right? Like, just doing the dive attack completely destroys you. You can literally just dive forth and back and destroy your life points. If you have the skill and even the ulti, it's gonna be even worse for your enemy. Yeah, the only thing with Crow is you have to get down his playstyle first. You need to use the jetpack, but let's be honest here, like I said, you want to use the jetpack anyway. And he's also insanely good with like the grappling hook, because that just synergizes with his whole playstyle. And yeah, best thing is, like I said, he punishes Meryl really hard. Because guess what? If Meryl uses her ultimate and you jump up with the jetpack or literally just stand still Giga Chat, use your skill or your ultimate and just kill them. Like, they can't outdamage your dive. Especially with your skill up or your ultimate. Meryl literally can't outdamage you because you're an actual DPS and the strongest DPS in the game currently. At least when it comes to single target damage, and that also applies in PvP. That's why I would honestly say that Crow is better than Meryl, because Meryl is just way easier to punish, while Crow, you have to be either a better staller or just a better Crow user to punish Crow. It also heavily depends on your relics choices, but you will all use the jetpack anyway, and most likely also the grappling hook. Just because Crow has the way higher burst potential, you can literally come back from like one little percentage of HP. You can just go with old skill and literally one-shot an enemy in like 2 seconds. And that's why I think Crow is by far the best, strongest damage dealer you can use. But you don't have to go that route. What you can actually also do is go for a full defensive route with Zero. Because guess what? The two best characters are both defensive support healers with CC. So why not just enhance that with a shield and a little bit more healing, and also something you really need in this team, shield break. Then you just use Zero and you have one of the strongest teams that nobody uses. This team is disgusting. You have two ways to play it. Either you just use it as a stall team, because let me phrase it like this: who has less life points at the end of the counter, if those 5 minutes run out, that person wins. If you run as many people in your team that keep your life points and your life total high, you're always gonna win. So this team can also just work as a stall team. You literally just fly around, you poke your enemy, you slow them, you CC them, while just taking no damage at all, and if you do, you just heal it back. But that's not super easy to play. I don't think I would play that team as well. You have to know what you want to do and what you want to achieve, and just going for the stall play style is not always correct, and it's also super boring. Let's be honest here. So that's why I'm still gonna put him at A, but I don't think Zero alone works as well in other teams, while Crow and Meryl can also just work in other teams. But Zero, I would only really play with Nemesis and Coco. But now that we have all these insane characters out of the way, let's get to some people that are crazy in PvE, but absolutely suck in PvP. First off, King, absolutely abysmal. Even though he has extremely high shatter, all of his moves take just way too long, his animations are crazy long, he has absolutely no range, his skill literally does nothing except doing some damage. You don't want to run too many melee characters anyway, and if you want to run some, you want them to be either Crow or Meryl, because these are just insane. Those actually deal damage, you don't even need to shield break, and if you want to, Meryl. So yeah, King sucks really hard, and I would definitely not play him in any team. Don't play King, even though he's great in PvE, he is abysmal in PvP. Same thing applies to Samir, but she's kind of better. Reason is she at least has some moves. She's a ranged character, which gives her some advantage. Problem here is her main thing is dealing a lot of AoE damage with her spin to win attack, and that just doesn't work in PvP. So you will have to rely on like normal attacks, on like the kick with the dash attack, and that's your only CC you really have available to you. And if you're running Samir, then why aren't you running Crow? probably because you don't have him when you don't wanna use Crow, but her only advantage is literally being Electros to synergize with Nemesis and being a ranged character, but that's it. She does no damage at all. I don't know what to say, there's almost nothing positive about her. The only real thing is she is Electro and range, that's why she's not completely shit. Someone who is, on the other hand, a little bit better in PvP is Shiro. For the very simple reason that she has CC, she is ranged, and she has Shatter. Those are all three vital things for PvP, and she combines them all. Problem is, Shiro only really works well if you combine her with other CC, because her only CC comes from her discharge, which is not the greatest. Let's say you use her with Meryl and maybe Huma. That's actually a decent-ish team. Or let's say you use like Nemesis with her. You basically want to chain CC, Nemesis slow, maybe do the discharge of Meryl, and then just trap them in your skill. But yeah, that's pretty much it. She heavily relies on having a comp built around her, and outside of that, she's just an okay ranged character that does a bit better because she has a lot of shatter. But yeah, if you want shatter, you can just use Meryl. If you want range, you don't really need range if you have Coco, if you have Nemesis, yeah. And I think we're almost done. Let's get to Tsubasa. This is a weird case because she's technically like okay. You don't really see her that often. She does buff every single character in your team. She has range. She has ice element which can freeze, which is great. But that's it. If you look at these characters, all of these provide multiple things. Slow, heal, damage, heal, CC, knock up, also charge. Very important. Crow, high shatter, just being annoying in general. Shields, shatter, charge. She just only gives you a bit more damage, but you really don't need more damage if you run one of these. She's like an okay budget, quote-unquote, budget option if you don't have any of these in A. You can just slot her in because she's ranged, you can play with her, but she doesn't really play great in PvP because that kite gameplay style doesn't really work unless it's with Nemesis or with Coco. But she's doing fine. Main reason is just that damage buff, and she's also ice. Like, freezing is very annoying. And the last character is gonna be Huma. Huma is like the budget Meryl, because she has most of the things Meryl has, but in a slightly different way. She doesn't have as much damage, but she also has that knock-up, but instead on her skill. But I almost want to just put her here, but I think she's at least worthy of being A. I think even over 0, to be fair. You have the knock-up on the skill, which is also very great. If you play Huma correct, you can do insane counter plays with the charge stun, with the reflect. I only think her discharge is not the greatest, but I love to do the grappling hook into skill 1. It's also an insanely good counter against Crow. I would say one of the best counters versus Crow. You literally just press 1, they fall down, you switch yourself to Meryl or Crow and just kill them. Literally just fall down and die. That's why Huma's great. Her skill is insane, she has a lot of potential, she has a lot of shatter. I think this is not a bad team, like Nemesis, Meryl, Huma, or Coco, Meryl, Huma is not a bad team. Like, both of these teams work. Like, Huma's not a bad character. I do kind of think she is a bit worse than Meryl, because Meryl just has a lot more damage, but she has technically less CC. If I would put Nemesis on SS with Coco, I would probably put all of these up and leave Huma here with 0. But right now I would say there's a kind of like a small gap between these characters, but they're still better than these ones. The only thing that we have left to discuss is Frigg. Let's think about what Frigg does. She has Ice Resonance, which boosts every Ice character. Most of these Ice characters are really strong if we look at the list. Thing now is, that's all she does. She provides some damage with her skill, just giving you infinite dodges, and her main gameplay style is that dodge attack spam, which can be really good to outplay stuff like Crows, Coco, Meryl, but that's pretty much it. You have a bit more damage. I do think the main reason she is gonna be kind of meta in PvP is because she synergizes with some of the 2 best characters in PvP. You have Coco, which is an ice character. You have Meryl, which is an ice character. So I think what you could see is something like this, or something closer to just this. Just Nemesis, Meryl, Frigg. Maybe not enough CC, to be honest. Just having Frigg as a damage dealer and boosting her own damage with the resonance because you have Coco. That could be a decent team, but I don't think she's better than Meryl. You either use her alongside Meryl or Coco, or like the best team core in existence. But I do think she is going to be better than these two, just because she has the ice resonance, she has that infinite dodge spam attack, which is not too bad. That you shouldn't underestimate this. I don't think she's gonna be a crazier DPS than these two, but she's a good addition to Coco and Meryl. I don't think Frigg has an insane impact on PvP. Most people are just gonna run this team anyway, or this team. That's all you're gonna see. Most people are not gonna even try Frigg, even though this team also is gonna be an alternative. I think it's just gonna rotate between literally these teams, and you're literally just gonna rotate between these characters, between the third slot. That's gonna be it. Like, these characters don't exist. Don't look at them. But for now, I do think this would be what we're gonna look at. That's at least my opinion as the rank 15 Grand Marshal on the Linfield server, at least for now, because I don't know if that's gonna change in the last few hours of the season. We're gonna ignore all of these characters because those are far off and these two are not gonna happen anyway. So that was it. Hopefully that was somewhat helpful. If you wanna catch me live doing stuff, then you know where to find me. A huge thanks to all of my channel members and an extra huge shout out to SV. That was all from me, and I will see you sooner than you might think.